Nityanam. My name is Nitya Mahavidya and I'm talking to you from the Nityananda Peetham, Bangalore Adina. One of the video series that I'm going to start about today is on the topic of education. So if you look around, the first thing you want to understand is what does education even mean? It's actually quite interesting. When I started the search, there's no clear definition on what education stands for. Everybody agrees that it's important. Everybody agrees that it is something you need to have a better life in society, to make wealth, to buy a house, to have a good life, to have kids, to have a family, to raise your children and have a good life. But it's not very clear on what education really is. Actually, if you do a Google search, you will see that all definitions of education are actually based on what education can provide to someone, like better health, better wealth, better life, abundance, and all of these various definitions. But then I started to search a little more, and then came the next definition, which is the definition of skills. Education or a university education specifically gives you skills and talents that will lead to all of these benefits. So then I started to think actually, a very basis of where you begin, the very foundation of this education is based on the assumption that there are some skills or talents that you don't have, that you don't possess, and you need to be provided those by this higher education learning or whatever type of learning you do. So, if you decide to be an aerospace engineer, like I did, it is something I did not inherently understand, and I had to take courses to make myself adept at this learning. Right? Same thing. If you wanted to be a doctor, you're going to do a several set of courses and get your MD, so on and so forth. So, the premise of education, at least today, and if you look back even last 200 years, is based on the idea that there is something you don't know and there is something that this education can provide, which is why actually so many of the professional development programs, continuing education programs are picking up so much in life today, because most of the industry and most of the corporations are expecting graduates who are going to join them be adept in various skills. So if they are not adept in various skills, most of the employees will pick up a continuation education. They will try to do some kind of learning from wherever they are, and they will try to build up their skill profile. So a resume with a long list of skills and talents is really given and credited today. And that's the kind of life we live. Actually, everything that I've said to you is so normal that you're probably agreeing with all of what I've said. But the fundamental problem with this kind of education is that it's based on the idea that you don't know something, that you need to be given something from the outside, that there is an external source that is more smart, more aware than what you are. This external source is actually talking to you, and depending on which smart external source you go to, that smart you get. Why, think about it. We rank our universities, we rank our schools, we rank our colleges, and then we also go down to ranking our departments, and then within departments, we start ranking the faculty, we start ranking the subjects, we rank which areas are more important. Why? Our corporations and industries spend so many lakhs and millions of dollars in research areas, and then they have so many discussions on which research area to invest in, where should economy be heading, what is society really waiting for, and so on and so on and so on. So many people, so many agencies, so much money, so much of the time of the society involved on making a decision which is based on the assumption that you don't know something. How will this education ever empower you? It never does. Why? Because after I did PhD, I always felt that I needed to go on and I needed to do another one. I always felt like I'm not done enough. In fact, it's not just me. if you look at the statistics, a lot of the youth will tell you that they are very, very sad and very upset and not quite sure of what they want to do in life. Why? Because they really don't know where they are headed. And even whatever education they get, they don't feel confident in it. Not not everyone will even say that yes, put me in the field right now and I'm ready to build a system. How many engineers will say that maybe I need some more experience, maybe I need an internship, maybe I need 2 years on the field? Every time, more and more education is just making us feel more and more powerless about ourselves. And this is where I think the biggest problem with education today lies. It's not empowering our youth at all. It is actually making them feel more upset. How many of them don't even want to live? The, the problem with education is deep rooted. It goes back in time, it goes back in history. It goes back to the roots when education was messed up with for political reasons. It is really, really something that we have to seriously consider if we want to change our society today. Hinduism is the only place where education starts from the understanding that you know everything. You are everything. And everything else actually around you is created for you to expand. Education in Hinduism is not about learning, it is about creativity, on how much you will grow, on how many problems you will solve, and how many codes you will crack. And that education, the true education, was messed with. And here we are left with something that makes us powerless. We will talk lots more about education and where we are headed and how it impacts society in these wonderful long series that I will be making for you. But do consider on what I have said. Think twice. If you are sending your child to school, think again. Why are you sending them to school? What is the real purpose? Are you sending them to school because there is something that you don't know and you want your child to grow up learning? Or is it something else? Each parent actually lives their dream through their child. That is a topic I will pick up next time, and we will talk a lot more in this education series. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to all the comments and any feedback you have to give to me in the comment section below. Nityanandam.